Well, good morning. Welcome to the Seneca County Board of Commissioners. Today is September 14th, 2023. It's our regular board session at 10 a.m. and we'll begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Quick prayer. Dear God, we ask that you look over our meeting today, that we make good decisions for our citizens. We welcome our guests. We ask that you look over the children, the school buses, the crossings, all the different things going on there. And with that, amen. Roll call.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Here.
Commissioner Schuff,
Here.
Commissioner Frankert.
Here. So we have a special guest with us today.
We do minutes
We
first.
do minutes. Why do I always do that? You have to wait for the minutes. So I'll make a motion that we approve the digital audio recording of our previous board session on September 7th, 2023 at 10 a.m.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes. So you can't screw up too badly. Everybody straightens you up, puts you back in place, right? And you get out of turf like I did there. So back to our program. Thank you for that. And we have a special guest, and I'll turn things over to Commissioner Frankert and take it from here. Thank
Yes, we have with us today Leonard Scanetti from Fostoria. Why don't you come on up? And he won the county award for the Commission on Aging, and welcome for his years of service for
Right.
volunteering and for many facets around the Fostoria area.
Well, thank you. I didn't prepare any remarks or anything. I got a letter in the mail from the Area Agency on Aging, which I thought was a solicitation. I thought they wanted a donation.
Did you want to say anything? Are you good with it?
We'll always take money.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Always accept a check.
They're here, by the way.
My bank accounts are still good, so I guess I could send you a check. But anyway, I opened it anyway, and it said, "Congratulations, you have won." And I thought, well, maybe this is like Publishers Clearinghouse. But it turned out Cindy, bless her heart, who works at Good Shepherd Nursing Home, she was aware of this award. And so she nominated me without telling me. She's always got a lot of ideas.
That's great.
But anyway, the Area Agency on Aging, it's a 9-county area. I can't name Knox, Morrow, Richfield, Seneca, Wyandotte. And there was an award winner from each of the 9 counties. It's an honor. I wasn't expecting that. I've been active in the Historical Society primarily, and a lot of veterans. I'm not a veteran, but a lot of veterans organizations. The Veterans Picnic for the developmentally disabled in the area, the Veterans of the Battle of the Bulge, Sons of the American Legion, and Sons of the AMVETS, and Dads of Foreign Service Veterans. It's been a pleasure to volunteer. I'm glad I was able to do the things that I've done. It's nice to be recognized. I can think of other folks who are equally or more deserving. I want to thank Bill. He attended the service, the event August 30th. I think it was. Mayor Keckler came along, and Representative Click from our 88th district sent me a resolution that he had introduced into the Ohio House of Representatives, offering
You're
their
famous.
congratulations.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
that's
thought, gee,
awesome.
this is. I guess I'll have to go and get a frame plus the proclamation that you folks had. So I want to thank you for that. So thank you very much.
You know, one of the things that really
Yeah.
stood out was, so you went into every day and you read a gentleman in the nursing home, the Wall Street Journal. That
Okay.
was amazing.
Bob Watson, he was a pretty successful local businessman in Fostoria. He was a combat engineer in World War II. And Bob was he was the fellow that owned the Kroger store that's now the Fostoria Learning Center. But anyway, Bob was big in the stock market, very shrewd business guy. So anyway, every Monday, not every day, but a time or two a week, I would go in and I would read the headlines and ask Bob if he wanted to know about this particular article or that one. Fostoria Review-Times, Toledo Blade, and the Wall Street Journal had to do like the Dow Jones Industrial Average and stuff. At age 95, Bob was still interested in that stuff, and I mean seriously interested. This was a very sharp guy. He was a very nice guy. When I wrote for The Focus, I did a 2-part interview with Bob, growing up and his war experiences and that sort of thing. So it was a pleasure to help him out when he was a resident at the nursing home.
Very good. That's fantastic.
Would you like to say anything?
Yeah,
Ryan?
just real quick. I don't know if you remember this, Leonard, but we met years ago.
Okay.
Pat Sterling was our board president of Commission on Aging, the great guy. Introduced us when he was at the Focus and you were at the Focus.
Right, he sold for us.
Yes. And so when I saw your nomination come across my desk, I'm like, oh, I remember Leonard. And so I started reading through it. But I want to thank you because that gave me an opportunity to reflect a little bit about my own retirement. And that's going to be a few years away. But I have determined that I'm going to get a lot more rest and peace and quiet time if I don't retire and just work a 40-hour week, because this man works as much, if not more, than he did when he was working, doing stuff for the community. And that is what really, every year we honor someone as an outstanding citizen of the year, but, they don't just pop up in Seneca County. They're here every day. People like Leonard who take time to go read the Wall Street Journal to someone in a nursing home. They take time to work at the KSC. They take time to work, at the many, many different things you've done. It's what makes Seneca County great. And I just want to thank you for that. Thank you for your service to our community and to the seniors of Seneca County. And one day when you get old enough, you can retire and take it easy a little bit.
Okay. I will do that. Some people say, well, if you don't do anything, I said, well, nothing is something I'm really good at.
Yes. Understood.
Speaking of the Knights of Columbus, I was the recording secretary for 10 years at the Knights of Columbus. But I was also the volunteer Thursday night bartender for a few years, which was very interesting because a lot of the stuff that seems so funny when you're on one side of the bar isn't always so clever if you're the guy on the other side of the bar.
Yep, that's the wisdom of the day.
But it was interesting experience. But my dad was a loyal member of the KSC for many years, so it was fun to help out there.
So does Commissioner have any comments?
Congratulations and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you, Bill, for bringing him in, and honor well deserved. It's amazing. We sit up here and we see all these volunteers and all the thousands and thousands and thousands of volunteer hours in this county make a tremendous difference for the quality of life for our people, and thank you, congratulations. Thanks for coming in.
Picture?
Yeah.
Let's do a picture. Go to the picture.
Photo.
Be in this.
Okay.
If you want to be in, jump on up here.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Come on in, Brent.
What's up?
Morning. Tired.
Spirit Day at Columbian. Get in there, get next to him, that's good.
You get that.
All right,
You're a
ready?
rose between four thorns.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Cool.
1, 2, 3.
Okay,
Beautiful.
I'm gonna get a
Thank you.
couple here. Boom, and boom. All right, congratulations.
Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Kim, you're next. I'd like to come on up. So, next on the agenda, we have Kim Bond, and she's our broker representative. We'll turn the program over to her. Our county-wide employee benefit package, primarily the group medical plan, but all of that is up for renewal. We've had we have a health insurance committee, and Dr. Grandillo, welcome.
Good to see you,
Hi.
Mr. President.
We have a health
Chairman.
insurance committee, and we've all met. Barb and I participated in that. And so we'll turn it over to Kim and Barb, and we'll be asked to take action here eventually, okay?
Thank you for having me, and thank you for allowing me to work with the county. I appreciate it, Commissioner Paradiso, Commissioner Shop, and Commissioner Frankert, very much the opportunity to work with you. As Commissioner Paradiso said, I met with the Health Insurance Committee on September 12th, presented the renewal from SEBCO. SEBCO is a county employee benefit consortium of Ohio, and Seneca County has been with them now for 13 years, and it's been a very good move for the county to be with them, so you're not standalone when you have high claims experience. And I am Kim Bond from First Insurance Group. We have offices in Fostoria and Tiffin. Effective January 1, 2024, SEBCO gave a renewal to Seneca County of 13% rate increase. I will tell you, we got a 13% rate increase last year, and that's based on claims versus premium that's been paid. For the experience period in July 1 of 22 through June 30th, 23, the loss ratio for Seneca County was 259%. That means SEBCO paid out 259% more in claims than what you paid in premium. SEBCO released an average of 7.7% to the 45 counties within SEBCO. 8 of those counties received a 13% rate increase. The county retains a health insurance fund, and fortunately for the county and for the employees of the county, there is a little bit of a reserve in there that we can use this year, so we don't have to give the county or the employees the full 12% increase. The average SEBCO increase for Seneca County over the last 5 years has been 5.4%. That's a 5-year average. That's excellent. There's not very many companies that can say that. The average employee contribution increase over 5 years, including what I'm recommending this year, is only a 1% increase over 5 years. For this year, the additional estimated premium that would have to go to SEBCO is $372,248. What I am recommending to the commissioners on behalf of the insurance committee and myself is that the county increase your portion of that contribution to 9%, which would be an additional $219,788 estimated in premium. The employee contribution would only increase 2%, which is a total of $11,345. It's extremely minimal. It's $1 a week for single, $2 a week for employee spouse increase, $2 a week employee children or employee child, and $3 per pay for family. With that said, then, like I mentioned, that is less than the 13% increase. There would be an estimated about $141,000 coming out of that fund account, and it would be anticipated there would still be about $330,000 in that fund account at the end of next year. It was approved last year at the renewal that we would try to maintain at least a minimum of $250,000 in that account. The reason we want to keep that minimum in that account is for things like this where you have the high increases. And in some years, we've given a premium holiday for the employee when we haven't had the high increases. So it's very valuable. Two other things I did want to mention. Because you have an health savings account tied to a high deductible health plan, federal regulations stipulate that that deductible is going to have to increase January 1 of 2024. That is not a county choice, that is a federal choice. So the deductible will go from $3,000 a single, $6,000 family to $3,200 a single, $6,400 a family. The maximum out of pocket is not changing at all. That will stay $5,000, $10,000. All the Guardian life insurance dental vision rates will remain exactly the same this year. There will be no increase in premium or contributions. And then the last thing that I wanted to note that we did discuss was right now the commissioners provide $800 a single and $1,600 family into the employees who are eligible HSA accounts, and it's recommended to retain that if possible. Are there any questions at all?
You want to add anything, Barb?
Nope, I think she covered it very well.
So, nice job. I'll give my recap real quick because I'm on the committee, and then we'll see if we have any discussion. So, as far as the employees go, if we go back 5 years, and you said 1% a year, so if we go back 5 years, the first 3 years there was 0 increase to the employee portion. Last year we had a 13% bump, and we asked the employees to pay 3%. We brought that down, that 13 down, and the commissioners and health department and others ended up paying 11%. This year we had another 13% increase. We were able to, out of that fund, buy it down and pass on 9% to us, but we're asking the employees to pay 2 instead of 3. So you explained it. So if you work for Seneca County over the last 5 years, your contribution to our medical plan that you pay has gone up 1% a year over 5 years on average. Fair statement.
That's correct.
We take that very seriously. If you work in a plant, let's say you work for company XYZ, and the employees pay 20% and the employer pays 80%, and the rates go up 13%, well then the employees pay 20% of the 13%. So we've worked real hard in the committee. We feel strongly that the employees need to have some skin in the game, but we try to put the least burden on them as possible. So that was our strategy as we go into budget season. Number 2, in the past, the commissioners would make the HSA contribution decision after budget. So Commissioner Schuff would remember this. So at today's meeting, we would not take action on the HSA contribution because the thought would be we have to finish the budget, see if we have enough money to put the 800 in and the 1,600 in. I'm recommending that we do that today. We did it last year because we are very time sensitive with employee meetings. We have to get out to all these departments. What do you have? You have a week blacked out, Barb, to in October to see everybody?
There'll be a 2-week open enrollment program in October.
So that's in October, and payroll, you have to load in all these payroll changes. Do the payroll first.
The payroll portion of it, because we pay a month in advance, so the new premiums for health insurance will go into effect out of employees' checks beginning the first pay period of December for January premium.
So
we have to make sure that we have time to get everybody enrolled and get all the numbers to the auditor's office for that, and as well as the HSA contribution. But that doesn't go into effect until January, but it all culminates together.
Right.
So it's just easier to pass the premiums and the HSA together so that everyone is aware of what is happening. And we will work it through the budget to make sure that that money is available so that those HSAs can be funded.
And preliminary, you know, we're gonna have to work on the budget, but this is one area that I think is, well, it'd be up to us, but I would like to say is sacred, and that we're not going to change in any fashion the HSA contribution. So that would really, our action today, including the HSA contribution, would make administrative sense as far as practicality of rolling this out and communication with the employees, and we want to do that.
I would like to say that is a very generous HSA contribution for your employees. Not a lot of employers provide that much for the plan members, and it is definitely a value. And to your
Thank
point, Tony, there is going to be open enrollment meetings, and we hope that it's voluntary, people will attend for educational purposes.
So do we have any questions? I'll make a motion, and then let's talk.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yep,
fine.
I'll make a motion that we approve the medical proposal recommended by the Health Insurance Committee, and that we approve the HSA contributions, similar to the same as last year, $800 for single, $1,600 for family.
Second?
Okay, we have a second. Sorry, Commissioner. Discussion.
Yeah, just a question. Do you know what the cap or the max is going to be for next year for the HSA contribution? I know what our, but if you want to add to the cookie jar.
There is, it did increase, I believe the single's 4,150, but we'll have that in the presentation. I'll have that for you. I did not bring that with me, but I think the individual went up to 4,150, and the family increased as well. And then if you're over age 50, you could put in an extra $1,000.
Right.
That's still there.
Right, well, yeah, because when they first
I
come out,
maxed
this
out,
HSA, when you're self-employed, I mean, it's, you think about it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a cookie jar, you fill it up because you never know as you get older.
Yep.
Things happen. I mean, you don't want to pull the money out to go buy aspirin, but you want to save it in there for the.
That's right.
Yeah,
You
I
can
mean,
use it for a lot of things, and when you get older, you can use it to help pay your Medicare premiums.
Yep.
If something happens to you before you use that money, it becomes life insurance benefit for your beneficiary. So it's not lost. It is the plan members' money.
And I think that's, through the presentation, I mean, I think that needs to be driven home to employees. I don't think they quite understand how, they just let the minimum in there, but you can fill on top of that up to, for down the road stuff.
You want to
Yeah.
comment on that, Barb?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It's
We're
an
gonna-
excellent,
we're gonna
it's
explain that.
excellent
Yeah.
because, it'll be, and that'll be part of the open
That's
enrollment
part of it.
that we present to the employees through that voluntary presentation.
And Lori Huth will be doing the presentations, and she does an excellent job of educating, and so hopefully we'll have employees that attend the meetings, because it'll be good information.
Definitely.
Anyone you're in? You good? Okay, so we have a first and second. Do we want to vote on this now? And then I see it's.
The resolutions are here, but since you've already motioned for them,
Let's
I
just
believe
take care of it.
we can take care of it now, and I won't have to read
Okay.
those when we get to the resolutions.
Roll call.
Commissioner Franker,
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes. Thank you, Kim. Now the work begins on your end in a different fashion. So, okay, good job on that. Thank you. I don't know, do we have any other guests that want to speak right now? Otherwise, we wait for public comment. I don't see anybody on the agenda. Okay, we're going to go into commissioner reports. Commissioner Schuff?
Yeah, here last week, Barb and I met with the JDI group. It's a consulting group out of the Toledo area. We're looking at some possible different variations or some solutions with some issues we're having at the RTA building. I don't believe we've signed anything yet, but they're able to kind of give us some ideas if we do want to do something with the RTA building as far as the windows go, or the outlying areas, or where some of the moisture is getting in. But get back to you guys on that when they send some stuff over. But I'll let you know about that meeting. Tonight we got the Township Trustees Association meeting. Also is the Downtown Summit. So not sure if you guys want to break those up or how you want to do that, but figure it was something we could discuss or kind of divide and conquer. But
Okay, good, thank you. We'll talk afterwards on that.
sounds good.
Good. That's it? Mr. Franker?
Yeah, last Thursday, I went to the Board of Elections. They finalized the August 8th election and took care of some other business that they had there. Good meeting. Friday, TCEP hosted an energy seminar with NOPEC. So NOPEC kind of does energy audits for businesses and companies and stuff on that. So that was
Similar
kind
to
of
Palmer, or was it
Kind of-
more like the Wadsworth thing?
It's more like the Wadsworth
Okay.
thing that they do that and they line up the companies and kind of, look at that aspect of it. So Tiffin, I think, is contracted with them, and so any company that wants to work with them, it's, so that was-
Similar payback guarantee and all that?
Yeah, they
Okay.
go through and then they have a regime of companies that come in, like Wadsworth or anybody like that comes in, and then they'll go through the scope of the project and stuff like that, so. Might be something we want to look at down the road or whatever, so, yep. Tyler alluded to, I'll be at the Township Quarterly meeting tonight. And then Tuesday, we had a Fair Board meeting, San County Fair Board meeting. Good meeting. They had the kind of a wrap up of, the 23 year, and then also, make some decisions moving forward for the 24 year. They're going to, they're looking at their, changing the schedule a little bit. They want to have, kind of a concert. They might move that to a Saturday night event and try to get a little higher end singer in there. It's amazing for anywhere from 40 to 150,000 to get a singer in for a couple hours. But I mean, it's quite a event. So they're kind of evaluating that situation. Maybe move the demolition derby to a Sunday afternoon, and like I say, they was kind of throwing a lot of ideas and options out there and stuff with it. So it's a good meeting, couple hour meeting, but went through a lot of business and stuff with that. So good. And then they're also prepared for the eclipse coming up. They do have sites available that they're going to lease out for that event coming up. And so just get on their website, and if anybody wants to come outside, wants to come in and camp there, they're going to allow that. So that's kind of what we're up to.
Awesome. So Barbara, we're moving forward with BG and Wadsworth and
Yes.
their quotes.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm working on that, getting them
That's a lot of work, I know.
documentation of what we've paid, usages of utilities. I sent an email to the sheriff's office in regards to setting up a walkthrough specifically for their building, because theirs is more of a security type building, so we have to make sure that someone's available to walk them through and understand the building. So that is in motion. I will also be reaching out to the youth center to find out when that availability would be for them to get into that building as well. The other buildings, I may ask one of you to walk through, or get John to walk through with them for the remaining buildings, so that we can kind of get a plan going, so that we can continue that process.
Yep, good job.
And those dates are set, let me know.
So for the public, I'll jump into my report. We are doing an analysis of all the county buildings, and I think I know we made the right decision, but it's risky because we have some serious problems out at the jail, in the sheriff's facility, and we went down a path. We were gonna just go after that building, get estimates, get RFQs, but then we had a problem at the RTA, we had a problem at the health board, we have a problem here, we have a problem there, so we talked about it, and we are getting competitive proposals regarding all the county buildings. So this is taking time. We have to pull utility bills, so nice job, Barb. I say this because it's adding, 4 to 6 weeks to the process, and if the sheriff came in and something bad happened, we'd have to react to it. So it's a risk we're taking. But we feel we would get a better price and overall big plan if we just attack the whole thing at one time. So that's what's going on, and we'll keep you informed as that progresses.
Yeah, and I'll keep you up to date on any dates that we have for walkthroughs with them, so.
Okay, I just want to give a quick EMS update. I want the public to know that, that EMS is going to never go away in our reports as commissioners. The Seneca County EMS, the operation of that falls directly under the Seneca County Commissioners. It does not fall under the sheriff or fire departments or any other elected entity. It's clearly a direct report to Barb, and it falls under us, okay? And we are, at minimum, tripling the size of EMS, the people, the responsibility, the budget. There's a lot of moving parts going on out there. We're covering 70% of the real estate in the county, and it's a 552 square mile county. So there's a lot of communication with volunteer fire departments, with other agencies, with dispatch, it's very integrated. And so I just want to keep the public informed. And also, you know, as you look at our budget and we do things, this is a big part of what we're trying to provide for the county. We're trying to provide a system. So if you are at Tiffin Columbian and you're on your way to Willard to a game and you get in an accident way out in the middle of nowhere, we want to have EMS service for you. So it's not about I live in Tiffin or Bascom or Fostoria. It's no matter where you're at in our county, we want to have a good system. So we're spending some time. Barb and I have been working with Don and looking at our structure and our budget, and I've been traveling around with Don a little bit. Yesterday we went to Fostoria. We met with the fire chief there. We're renewing our agreement. We have a part of our county way over in Jackson, way over there in the corner. It's hard to get to, it's underserved, so we have an agreement with Fostoria. I reported a few weeks ago we were in Sycamore. We're going down the path of taking over North Central first of the year. So there's these kind of things that are going on. And that meeting was very productive. We discovered they have a complicated 911 system because they have Hancock County and they have Wood County, and they're on a different system, and they do things differently. When it's in our county, it's different. So we're learning and trying to, tackle things at that end. I also want to talk about the buildings. I'll let Barb take it in her report. But 3 years ago, Jimmy, you were here, documented it before these three were here. Tyler, you might have been here. I don't think you were here when we started. But we had COVID money, and the commissioners committed $3 million to build EMS buildings. And I don't know how many times we've said it, and how many meetings, and how many press pieces and campaign literature. Jimmy, would you back me on that? It's been said many times.
Yeah.
I think we're good, but I just want the public to know this, okay? So I think it's important that we appropriate that money. Costs have gone up, and we're gonna have to figure out ways to get this done because that's not gonna be enough money. It's a heck of a start if we have that appropriated. We've got some grant opportunities. We have a lot of things, and so I'm feeling really good about it, but I'd like to get that money appropriated, and Barb will talk about that. In addition to that, EMS number one is really going to town. If anybody wants to drive down 224, you cross 19, you go about a mile, and it's looking pretty impressive.
It's flying, yep.
We're getting really close to securing the site and for EMS 2, which will be over at Seneca Township. We are looking subtly at the third location, which will be over by Green Springs. And then Bethville, talked to Mary yesterday. We all toured that facility. He's asking us for $5,000. It'll be coming back. We don't need to act on it today. But he's found a couple this will be for architectural fees to renovate that other building. He feels pretty good about it, and he's working on it. So the fourth building, which would be Bettsville. Where we're at now is in a little house, we're in a little village house, and it's working. But the village of Bettsville will be moving their offices. They've obtained a really nice facility at, it was part of Carmoose, or the old Basic. And they're gonna move out to there. Charlene, you're nodding. I know, Ben, you know where that is. And they've worked with Renee at Land Bank. We're getting some brownfield money. They're gonna knock some buildings down. He's doing a great job out there, Scott Harris, the man. They would plow the snow, they would mow it, they let us rent it for $1 a year forever. So we are looking strongly at a temporary move there, which could be 5 years, kind of a thing. And so I know you're kind of setting up separate accounts for each building, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be the Bettsville building. We're going to be asked to front $5,000 to get some architectural things in motion, and I think it's money well invested. But so that's kind of where we're at. We have a meeting. It's next Thursday night. Will be the joint EMS district meeting, third Thursday of every month. Bill, thank you. He's on the fair board. The junior fair has offered their building, and our building is what's it called?
Public safety.
The public safety building is full of voting machines right now, and it's locked down. We can't get in there. So we're having a meeting over at the junior fair, and we appreciate that. I think that wraps up my EMS. You guys want to add anything?
Just follow up. I think, Kayla, did you do the article this morning? It's in the paper? Yep, fantastic article.
I didn't see it.
Scott, yeah, so you interviewed Scott, and nice article.
Well, you do a nice job of
Yep, so that was
reporting
nice.
that. Okay, thank you. I did not see that.
That's all I have.
He's just doing a great job for us. Anything else? Any reports with that? Good?
So I guess with Tony with the EMS, I will request next week to transfer some money from our general fund to our capital projects fund for the remaining balance of that $3 million for buildings for the EMS stations. That way we know that the citizens are aware that that money is committed to those buildings. That way it doesn't get spent on something else. So that will be part of a request for next week. I have to get things put in place and moved around so that we can get that taken care of.
Good.
The other couple things that I have, we have the youth center is working on getting a grant submitted that is actually due tomorrow in regards to their HVAC installation out there. Their building, the heating and cooling just doesn't seem to be working properly. I got a phone call from Stacy Wilson, the court administrator now, that they were requesting if it would be okay to submit for the grant. It's a reimbursable grant, so we have to front the money, but it's like a 60-40 split or something like that. I don't know all of the details because they were kind of vague as to. They were just trying to get everything in line. So, I mean, we would get some of that money back, but I gave them the go-ahead to at least attempt for the grant. I mean, if you don't try, we don't get it. So, so that's just kind of letting you know that that's happening. And then I know we've talked a couple of times about computers for the auditor's office. I got a revised quote. I had a couple questions on the original quote from Buckeye IT, and speaking with the auditor, I have told her that she can move forward with getting these computers at a cost of $9,854 to the general fund.
That's less, right?
It's less, yes. It started out above $10,000, and then I got a revised quote, and it went to like $11,000, and then I questioned a couple of things that were on the billing or on the quote, so we're down to just under $10,000. So that request will be coming through.
Keep doing that. Yeah, that's good.
The supplemental will be coming through next week for that, so that we can take care of her, because I know she's in dire need of some computers. She's got a few that are really slowing down, so I want to take care of that, because that could be a problem
Big time.
if we crash or anything like that, so.
We have to buy them through Buckeye IT though, correct?
We do, because they would be the ones to service as our IT. So, so I did talk to Jake, and we kind of worked on a couple of things that I didn't feel it needed to be in the quote that their contract provides for. So other than that, I don't have anything else.
Want to go into new business? I
Sure.
kind of screwed up the order a
No,
little
it's fine.
bit, but
It's all good.
you
It's all good.
take it from here. Yeah.
We don't have any supplemental appropriations this week, so nobody's asking for any more money. That's always a good thing.
First we've seen that in a while.
I don't know that I've ever seen it, so.
You're right. Yeah. I don't know if we ever.
I'm not sure that I've ever
Tammy,
seen
did
it.
you ever see any all the years you've been
It's
here?
happened, but not
It's
rarely.
very rare occasion. Okay, so the first two resolutions that were on the agenda, you guys have already approved and voted on, so we'll skip over those. The next, what I have is a resolution authorizing the Seneca County Board of Commissioners to enter into an agreement with Stantec Consulting Services for engineering services for the 2024 ODOT improvements to the Seneca County Airport to replace automated weather observing system, or the AWAS, authorizing Anthony Paradiso, president of the board, to sign any agreement and all other related documents.
So move.
Second.
I will also preface this by saying that I am waiting on the prosecutor's approval for this contract. So we'll sign the resolution, and then when I get it,
Good.
we can then sign off on the actual
And then we'll have a
contract.
kickoff meeting and.
Yeah, I believe Brian is working on getting all of that set up so that
So
we
this
can.
is, we mentioned this last meeting, again, for the public, Mr. Brian Ball. So we get FAA money, okay, and that's money that comes from the federal government. This is an ODOT grant. And so the state of Ohio has increased their focus. It started with the match. We would get, the FAA provides 90% funding for all their projects. And then the local entities had to put 10 in. Well, a while back, the legislature and ODOT put some money in there, and they fund 5%. So when you see anything going on at the airport, it's paid at 95%, whether it's the feds or it's ODOT. In this case, normally if it was a Fed grant, it would be 5% ODOT and 5% commissioner. In this case, ODOT's doing 95%, they're putting up 95% of the money, which is great because that still leaves all our federal money available for another project. And so we'll have to put 5% in. And it's just really a good program. And we knew it, but I guess we figured it out. You figured it out. We are Seneca County Regional Airport. So we are a regional airport based on the number of flights that we take in there and our location. And all you need to do is just take a peek at the airport and look at the traffic and what's going on there. We're pretty proud of that. How did that happen? You figured it out. Because Sandusky County used to be a regional
Used to be,
airport.
yep.
The one over there by.
We announced that in the meeting last
Yeah,
year.
we did, yeah. And I got, thanks, Jimmy, for
Yep.
that,
I
but
can say
I'm
that.
on the ODOT thing, and I'm pretty excited about it, because it's like a big deal. Yeah, it's a really big deal. So, all right, we have a first and second, roll call.
Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso.
Yes.
And then
Next.
the last resolution I have is authorizing the 2024 sewer rate increase of 3% to be waived for the Hammer-Heinzman subdivision of the Seneca County Sewer District.
Motion for passage of the resolution?
Second?
Okay. Discussion, so it automatically goes up 3% a year. Charlene's nodding. So the sewer district, by contract, has a 3% annual increase. The only way that doesn't go up is if we say, it doesn't go up. So we're doing that. So next year, there won't be an increase. in the
For
sewer
Hammer
fees.
Heinz.
For Hammer
Because
Heinz.
we have 5 separate.
That's a good point. There's 5 separate. This is for Hammer Heinz. Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Frankert,
Yes.
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
The only other thing that I just want to quickly, before we go any further, a reminder is that there will be no meeting on October the 5th. I know we brought it up last meeting, but I just want to make a reminder of it so that people are aware.
And before we go to public comment, thank you. Anybody else? Jim, before we go over, we'll open up the floor here.
Yeah, the commissioners are requesting, we're in the budget season right now, and for the next 8 weeks or so, we're really not going to take on a lot of new projects, a lot of new appointments, a lot of, Barb's our focus, she's working hard. We're trying to clean up some things we have, so I just want everybody to know that if you request appointments, we'll get you on the docket, we'll schedule you. But unless it's something that can't wait, it's probably gonna be after Thanksgiving or something like that that we'll put you on the appointment. And that'll give us a chance internally to kind of catch up on all these balls we have in the air. And the primary focus is gonna be on the budget. Because Barb, you wanna have that completed ideally, fingers crossed.
Tentatively,
Tentatively.
I want to say November the 9th,
November 9th.
which is just before Veterans Day, which is just before Thanksgiving. That way, everybody can breathe a little sigh of relief that everything is in place for the beginning of the year.
And that's our goal, and that's what we're gonna try to shoot for. The only way we can do that is to say no to some things, and it's always important, but it's just a priority. We appreciate you working with us, public, on anything like that, so. This time, I'll open it up to the floor. Anybody? Presley. Hi, yeah. Make sure you,
Okay, I got paperwork for everyone.
if you wanna get on the agenda, you just tell us ahead of time, okay? Otherwise, we love having you
There's another one,
at the end.
and there's another one. Okay, so the first paper that you guys have on your stack here, I am starting what I'm calling Farm Talks. It's for all farmers and landowners in Seneca County, and I'm gonna be doing them quarterly throughout the year, kind of trying to hit end of harvest, beginning of the planting season, and somewhere in the middle. This first one is going to be September 25th at our extension office from 8 to 10 a.m. Again, it's open to all farmers and landowners in the area. And kind of the agenda for it is I'm going to do a general introduction of what Seneca County Extension is doing for farmers and landowners, what farmers and landowners think we could be doing more of, doing less of, any research that farmers want to do, and just kind of a general discussion on how they think the year went with the harvest. And then Matt Romanko, who's a water quality associate, for OSU, who covers Seneca County, will be talking about different water management strategies. And then Bruce Clevenger, who's an OSU field specialist in farm management, is going to talk about farm management and how Extension can help with the farm management side of things, as well as Commissioner Frankert will be talking about different legislative topics that would be concern to farmers and landowners. So that's a free event. Coffee and donuts will be provided. All farmers and landowners in Seneca County are welcome to come and join the conversation.
One thing I'd like to add
Yes.
to my spot is, so what I've done for my spot is I'm going to include our auditor, Julie Atkins, because there's going to be some changes next year in real estate taxes, so her and I is going to do a presentation to kind of give everybody a heads up and stuff on that. So if people have questions on real estate taxes, all that stuff, that, yeah, so we'll both be there, kind of tag team that. I'll do some stuff and then turn it over to her, so that way, you know, it's going to be quite a surprise next January when I get their bills. So.
Yeah. So then the
not
next
going down,
paper, the next paper you guys have is about the Tiffin Seneca Farmers Market on September 30th. It's from 9 to 1 a.m. or 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And this is the next time OSU will be at the farmers market, and we will be having 4 speakers. This is the first farmers market. You won't have to hear me speak. I apologize to everyone. I know you're just dying to hear me. But the first speaker is the Seneca Conservation District, and they're going to be talking about who they are, what they do, and how they can help the community. And then we have an FCS educator through Ohio State who's coming and talking about different canning and freezing techniques. And we have Shelly Smith, who's a CNC, talking about medicinal plants, how you can find them, how you can use them. And we also have a associate professor from the Ohio State University coming to talk about cottage foods and home bakeries. That's a free event. I encourage everyone to be there. If you need more details on the event, what time the speakers will be, any of that information is on our website, seneca.osu.edu. We also post it on our Facebook page, the Ohio State University Seneca County. And then the last paper I have is the Seneca County Master Gardeners are having their 25th anniversary open house celebration on September 24th from 1 to 4 p.m. We are inviting all the commissioners to come if they would like to say a few words. Just come see what the Master Gardener is about. We'll have multiple tables of our history, what some events we've done in the past, some things we're doing currently. We also have an opportunity for anyone who wants to join the 2024 intern class. They'll be able to sign up on that day, and we'll also have a drawing for a free tuition for the 2024 intern class. So if anybody's interested, we encourage them to come out that day. Also, if anybody just has some horticulture questions that they just have not been able to get answers for, bring them that day. You can bring your plants to show us, your produce, whatever it may be. And we'll answer your questions or get someone to answer your questions for you. Again, that's the 24th from 1 to 4 at the fairgrounds, and it's a free event, so everyone is welcome.
Just a great job. That's the thing.
Thank you.
So Lee, you can go ahead and learn how to do plants next year for the open class, and then also how to show livestock. That'll be another session.
Excellent. I'll try to get involved in that. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
It's awesome. Anybody else from the audience like to speak? Yes, sir.
Yeah, Lee Wilkinson, candidate for mayor of Tiffin. Still going door to door. I just want to remind people, if you see someone walking down the sidewalk carrying a clipboard with some brochures, they're not probably a vacuum cleaner salesman. The best way to get to know your candidate is to be present, open the door, have a conversation, have some questions ready for the candidate. And that's a good way to get to know the candidates. Also, the Heritage Festival coming up this weekend. I'll be volunteering at some of the events. Hope to see you there.
Nice. I'm glad you brought that up. We're in the parade as well. We'll see you there.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. Anybody else?
I think opening is tomorrow at 9:30 is the opening remarks.
The school days and down at the Frost Parkway area. I'll be emceeing that. Looking forward to where we're going to have 500 students there. Pretty cool.
Fourth graders. So
Fourth grade. So there you go. Do you have one in fourth grade? Not yet.
Very little.
Yeah, they're little. Okay.
Kind of like her cats. We have to, yeah.
All right, Jimmy. Anybody online?
If anybody's online wants to come forward during the public comment period, you can unmute your line and do that now.
They're back in session down in Columbus, right? So
We may see Mike Ditto here eventually. But,
good. Anything else up here? Less than an hour. Meeting's adjourned.